And good morning, YouTube. This is not how I was wanting to start my day. And what the hell is this? Ooh. It's like some kind of a cool looking road case. Missing its lid, obviously, but does the handle work? It totally does. I'm coming back for that. I am coming back for that. Okay. And I have to walk back through here because I freaking locked myself out of my apartment again. It's 8:02 a.m. Thursday, October 6th, 2022. And oh man, I can't believe like I just landlord's like, oh, I bet I know why you're calling. I'm like, yeah, I'm an idiot. Thank you. You know, at this point, I almost feel like more than anything, the thing I most relied on Priscilla for while she was living with me is to let my ass in when I locked myself out. But way to not slow down for the crosswalk, asshole. There's no way that guy is going 25. That street there, 48th Street, between Thomas and McDowell, the speed limit is 25 miles per hour, and nobody drives anywhere close to that. As somebody who walks across that street more than they drive on that street, I'm so sick of it. All right, so I was actually headed out to my car. To start making a video and kind of start being productive with today, since I'm up so early. And while I was at it, explain what the hell I'm doing up so early. And same as the last time. Well, except for the last time I didn't have my house key. I did have my car key in my pocket, so at least I was able to get in my car. Oh no, I changed clothes and put on some shorts because I know it's going to get warm out today. It's really nice out right now, by the way. It's oh god, what's the temperature? My weather widget on my Obama phone says 77 degrees Fahrenheit. That might not be updated. Let's pull it down on my iPhone without stopping the recording. Oh, no, but don't show on my iPhone. Darn. That might not be correct. It feels a little cooler than 77 out right now. Yeah, this is definitely the beautiful weather that people moved to Arizona for. It's so funny, every time I see a video about Phoenix, and apparently some very popular YouTube channel based in the UK just did a video about Phoenix. I'll try to remember to link that here. It's just hysterical to me seeing a YouTube video about Phoenix that focuses in on a parking lot and refers to it as a car park. It's yeah, it's like I watch enough and watch enough videos that are from the UK and I'm in enough like internet groups, particularly r/fuck cars on Reddit, that are kind of geared towards walkable cities and public transit that I know that quote car parks end quote is a silly British name for a parking lot, but it's just and if I'm watching something about something taking place in the UK, yeah, it seems completely appropriate. But hearing a Phoenix parking lot referred to as that is just silly to me. But based on the comments that are left there, I would imagine the bulk of that channel's audience is in the UK. So it just kind of is what it is. It's kind of funny. It's like really obvious, the comments of people that are actually based in Phoenix that got recommended this video by the algorithm based on them watching a lot of Phoenix YouTube, and the video, you know, being titled and clearly about being in Phoenix. And it was basically about what the city of Phoenix is doing to combat heat and climate change and rising temperatures, which, if you put it all in perspective, is kind of silly. Although I do support the city's effort to put the gray coating over the asphalt to make it reflect heat as opposed to absorb heat, because the heat island thing in Phoenix, it is a legitimate problem, and it's definitely getting worse as the city gets more sprawled out, and for that matter, as the city's getting more dense with infill development, because part of that infill development is car parks. Yeah, but yeah, oh, so many people out walking their dogs this morning. Give her space. Morning. Yeah, I was trying to give distance to dogs. Oh God, that woman walking dogs. Lost my whole train of thought there. Shit. Oh yeah. So anyway, that was one of the things that was mentioned, which is something the city's done very, very little of. And I was really surprised when I took a walk, and it's in another one of my vlogs, and hey, maybe I'll bother to link that in the description as well. I was walking through neighborhoods directly north of here, just mostly wasting time and, you know, talking to myself, as I often do, and noticed that I was in a neighborhood where that treatment had been done to the streets, which it's something I've seen in the news and something I've heard about and seen news videos of, but I've never actually walked down a Phoenix street that had that treatment done to it. So I was kind of a little shocked that there's some so close to home, just in a neighborhood that I don't, you know, just in an area that I don't go through very often. Because as I'm sure you've noticed in my videos, I go all over Phoenix, and I hadn't actually seen that before. So for this video, it's obviously, you know, kind of hitting an international audience from a channel out of the UK. It seems kind of silly that was one of the things that they were really focusing on, when that's, I mean, yeah, it's something Phoenix is doing, but it's such a minuscule thing. Like I feel like if the city would just pick up the goddamn bulk trash, so less piles of it are catching on fire, I feel like that would, for a whole lot less money, do a whole lot more to combat heat in the city of Phoenix. But what can I say? I'm kind of self-centered in the fact that I want my garbage picked up. Well, not actually my garbage, but, you know, my neighbor's garbage, and my neighbor's garbage, and my neighbor's garbage. Garbage is just all over the place these days. Except interestingly enough, not on this particular piece of street here. Anyway, I guess I didn't explain well, I was going to explain why I'm up so early, and how the hell I locked my ass out of my apartment and my car. So last night at Amazon was ridiculous. First things first, yeah, I'm 100% convinced somebody on the day shift stole my new Bluetooth speaker. I got to enjoy that for less than one day. I mean, it's only a $2 loss. It's not really a big deal in terms of actual loss, and I guess I should just kind of write it off as easy come, easy go. But give you all a view of the cemetery, one of the nicer parts of it over here. I hardly ever shoot video in that direction because I'm usually driving down the street, at least nowadays. Anyway, I should just write it off as easy come, easy go, but I'm kind of hurt and kind of frustrated, and I really like the thing, and it's not that often I pick up something for $2 that I genuinely really enjoy. So to have it taken from me, and I hate thieves, have it taken from me by a thief in such a quickness is just incredibly frustrating. Anyway, I'm going to explain the rest of what happened at work last night and why I'm up so early. As soon as I go get my keys from my landlord. Oh man, I still can't believe I freaking just locked myself out like that. I mean, and not only do I not have any of my keys on me, I don't have any ID, I don't have any money, I don't have any bank cards. I had a plastic bag with my what do you call it, USB-C charging cable, and my iPhone Lightning charging cable, and 2 bottles of tea, or no, 2 bottles of water, a bottle of tea. Yeah, that's all that was in the bag. And I had my 2 phones in my hand. And pulled the door shut, and just immediately a voice in the back of my head just screamed, "No!" Because I realized the second I did it what I had done. And part of me considered calling Priscilla. It's just I locked the not the deadbolt lock. It's almost like a muscle memory thing. With all the mental health issues I have, one of the things that kind of gets me by is just routine and muscle memory. Like I've had some coworkers that are like, "Don't you hate being a line loader? It's so repetitive, blah blah blah." And I'm like, "No, actually I enjoy being a line loader. It's fine." And for me, it's the repetition that I like. I mean, I know what I'm doing, and I do it well, and within the repetition, I find a lot of nuance that other people not only don't notice but don't do right, or don't do as well as they could. I was talking to this one woman that I really dig, actually a white woman down there. I was working alongside for, I don't know, about 30-40 minutes. Mostly we were standing around. There were too damn many people on the floor, but I'll get to that in a moment. And I've had some pretty interesting conversations with her before. And yesterday they were, so open enrollment started yesterday. So yesterday they had representatives of all the different health insurance companies, dental insurance, vision insurance, pharmacy insurance. That's something I've just never really had. So it's very confusing to me and bewildering to me that it's not just one thing that handles all of that, that it's all these separate programs and plans that need to be navigated and decided by the employees. And you know, like I don't feel like I'm qualified to make that decision. I don't know shit about that shit. I really don't. So about had a panic attack just after being around that table, just because of how crowded it was and how many conflicting voices were in a close proximity to me. And you know, all these, you have asking questions, and the question is, do you have any questions? And the whole time I'm thinking to myself, like, wow, this is really awful and convoluted, and actually I think I just want to stay on Mercy Care, because for as much as Mercy Care doesn't cover, like it at least has no, generally speaking, has no out-of-pocket costs, and it's a lot easier to navigate. At least it has been for me. And as you saw when I was dealing with my dental issues the first time around, a little over a month ago, that was difficult for me. Yeah, at one point I heard them talking about, you know, what the deductibles and stuff are, and I'm thinking to myself, yeah, after paying rent and expenses on my car and food, it's not going to matter. It's not going to matter that I have this insurance because I won't be able to afford the deductible, period. And I'm probably better to stay on Mercy Care. So anyway, so I'm loading with this one, kind of slowly working on a pallet because there's entirely too many people there and the line just keeps stopping and stopping and stopping. And we're unloading a pallet of toys and putting the FRX labels on it. She's doing most of the labeling. And she's also a learning ambassador, for what that's worth. Now, I first started chatting with her back when I used to do the wood pallet thing almost exclusively, and would just hang out in the wood pallet loading zone, stacking them all, which I don't bother to do anymore. And I've noticed nobody else has really picked that up. It was kind of a shit I made up myself, and since I've ceased doing it, nobody else does. It just kind of, I guess it wasn't necessary after all. Go figure. I guess I should just be happy that management indulged me and let me do it as long as I liked doing it. But I digress. Anyway, she used to come in and chat with me sometimes when she'd be bringing wood back, and I'd kind of show her what I was doing, and she actually seemed kind of intrigued by it. Anyway, we were talking about just different things, pet peeves about things that people don't do right as line loaders at the inbound department at GYR3, and she mentioned, and she's coming from a completely different perspective since she is a learning ambassador and trains people. And she's like, yeah, I tell them to do that, and I tell them to do these things, and they just won't. I'm like, yeah, you can show people what to do, but you can't make them actually care enough to do it. So anyway, at one point the topic got onto the whole thing with all the tables in a circle and the benefits, and did you look at it, what are you going to choose, blah blah blah. And I was like, and of course, as weak as the raises are, and of course everybody's talking about how disgruntled they are with the raises, because there's a lot of us that are getting a 40-cent raise, and it's just like, wow, gas has gone up $1 a gallon in the last week and a half, and most people's rent has gone up 15 to 20% in the last year, and so people are trying to, and of course the annual whatever the monthly economic report from the federal government came out about a month ago, showed that Phoenix had the highest inflation in the nation for the last year. So yeah, like a fifth for those of us who are already somewhat underpaid as it is for what we do, to only get a 40-cent raise is just, to a lot of people are taking that as a slap in the face and a sign that, yeah, we need to find better jobs. This is bullshit. And of course, what they kept trying to emphasize during the presentation last week was that, well, we feel that it's okay that we pay less because we offer a great benefit package. Yeah, a benefit package that requires a deductible that your employees don't make enough to make use of, because and many can't take advantage of, because if we have anything deducted from our pay to cover insurance, we can't pay our rent or put gas in our vehicles to get to this stupid job. Oh, shit like this is why our anti-work exists on Reddit. Anyway, so anyway, she we're kind of talking about that, and I had commented that yeah, these benefits are I said I don't even see them being useful to me at all, and at times like this I'm just thankful I'm still on Mercy Care. And somebody else is like, well, how the hell do you qualify for Mercy Care? I said, well, I'm pretty sure I'm eligible for Mercy Care because of my mental health being considered disability, being considered federally as a disability. I qualify for it through federal mental health guidelines. And then the learning ambassador, the woman whose name I can never remember. Did I just find a nice pen? No, I just found an empty shell of a nice pen. Wow, that's a bummer. This looks like it's made of carbon fiber. Wow. There's no way I'd be able to put that together either. What a bummer. That's cool. It's made out of carbon fiber, like really, really expensive racing bike frames and hoods and body parts for racing cars. Oh, I'm grabbing this. Grabbing this case. This case looks cool. I'm not quite sure what I use it for, but I use it for some of my karaoke stuff. It almost looks like maybe it was some kind of a, oh, it's definitely a gear case. There's a hole in the bottom for cables, and there's like a grill on the back for fan. This is really cool. I'm gonna make something nice out of that. So anyway, the woman, the learning ambassador, she's like, oh, what's your mental disability? I said, well, she goes, what's your mental disability? I'm bipolar. Which was like, oh, no wonder. I said, no wonder we get along so great. I said, oh, well, I'm schizophrenic. And she looked at me kind of funny, and it's like, well, that's according to some doctors. Oh, I got remnants of the fire that happened here. That's just lovely. God, it still smells like burning down house over here too. Lamp stand. We'll do something interesting with that too. In fact, I'm working on the lighting in my living room right now. I have to come back for that as well. Anyway, what did I just put in there? Oh yeah, that's the bag I got from Lon. That's why I'm doing this walk, because I locked myself out. Lon, my landlord, by the way, is just, God, it's just, every day I'm reminded of how lucky I am that I have such a cool landlord. Probably the coolest landlord I've ever had, the more I think about it. Anyway, I told her that yeah, I'm bipolar as well. So I got a my dual diagnosis. My thing is bipolar and schizoaffective disorder, which is functionally schizophrenia. And I said, yeah, on top of that, I'm fairly convinced I'm autistic as well. And then we had this conversation about how like autistic people are awkward but smart. And she goes, yeah, that sounds about right, because you always seem to be really knowledgeable about stuff. And I'm like, yeah, it's like I have a lot of issues with the mental health things. So I said, but it's kind of, I think I survived because it's just sort of offset by the fact that I'm also a Minson. Anyway, I'm here. I'm going to let myself in my apartment, and I will be continuing this because I still haven't really explained what happened at work last night and how I came to be awake at 8 in the morning, locked out of my damn apartment.